Nice. Today we are going to talk about Firebase's users. In the previous video, I have talked about how you can authenticate with Firebase authentication, the part where we just sign in or sign up with email and password. Now today we are going to talk about the user. Now, if you want to take a look at the previous video, go ahead and check it out. It's either down in the description or in the cards all the way up. Today, we are going to talk about the users. Now, this video is sponsored by rebeloper.com/mentoring. Go ahead and check it out. You can meet me on a one-on-one Zoom call if you have any Swift iOS or Swift UI related questions, or maybe you just want to learn all about Swift UI. Go ahead and check it out. It's rebeloper.com/mentoring. Now, let's get into the code. This is the previous episode where we actually made these sign up, sign in, and sign out functions inside this observable class, and we just hooked it up to the UI. Today we are going to go even further. We are going to talk about the users. As you can see, first of all, go ahead and check that video out. But basically we have Firebase Auth available for us. And then we can just create all of these functions. I'm not going to link that up to the views at this time because it will take a lot of time. Let's just talk about the functionality today. Okay, so our first function that I'm going to do is to get the user's profile. So get user profile. Okay, so how do we get the user profile? Well, we create a user, and that comes from auth dot current user. And as you can see, this is an optional. So we want to make sure that this is actually not nil. Basically, if you are going to not be signed in or signed up, this auth current user will be nil. So we want to make sure that it is not. So if let user, for example, then we have a non-nil value over there, and then we can just grab, let's say, let UID equals user.uid, or we can just grab its email, let email equals user.email. And there are quite a few over here. Let me just show you one last one, and that photo URL. Come on, URL. There we go. That's users.photo URL. Phone number. Just hit dot right over here. You can see there are quite a lot of things that you can actually get a hold of. Display name, for multi-factor, metadata, is verified, is email verified, is anonymous. So quite a lot of stuff on the user object. Let me just add this photo URL here so you get the the profile, and that is the user profile. Now we got the user profile, but what if we want to update the user profile? So let's create a new function again right over here, func update user profile. There we go. Okay, so first of all, we need to create a change request. So let change request, there we go, equals, again, auth.auth. As you can see, it's really coming back to this framework, current user dot create profile change request, and automatically just added this question mark right over here because again the current user might be nil. So we want to create the profile change request only if that is not nil. For now, I'm just going to go forward to it and have change request dot, and then we can just access all of those that we saw earlier. Not all of them, like the UID you can't change, but let's just say we want to change the display name, and then I'm just going to say that is Ada. Once we added those to the change request, we actually want to commit the changes, so we say change request dot commit changes. We can either go for a completion, getting back an error if there's any, or we can just go with the asynchronous throwing function. Yeah, currently let's just go with the completion one. So you might get back an error, and then maybe if let error, then just print out the error's localized description. So as simple as that. This is how we update. Now, we also want to be able to update not just the user profile's display name, we want to also change the email address. That's most probably what you encounter in most cases. So let's just have a function right over here like set user email. Okay. Now we just go auth. This is a little bit not the way that we are used to doing things. This is actually a function auth dot current user. So it's on the current user dot. You just say update email update email. And here we go, update email. This has been deprecated, but it's still going to work. What we can do right over here is have an on completion or the one with an asynchronous. So let's just use this one, update email to, I don't know, dev2@gmail.com. And then here we might have an error, and you know the rest. Well, actually, I'm just going to copy it out because we do have that already. Okay, this is how we would just set a user email. But first, before we do all of this update email, and yeah, this has been deprecated. Let me just see, send email verification. Yeah, we're going to talk about that also. But even if we use this update email, we want to re-authenticate the user if the user hasn't been signed in for just a little bit of time. So if a lot of time has taken place since the user authenticated, then before that we want to re-authenticate. So let's just have a function over here, reauthenticate reauthenticate. There we go. Now, first of all, we want to grab the user, and then we want to create the credentials that we want to reauthenticate with. So the user, you already might know because it's kind of the same thing, auth.current user. Okay, that's our user. Then we want to create the credentials. In this particular case, we are logged in or signed up with email and password. Therefore, we are going to use the email auth provider. You can use the Gmail, Google auth provider, the Facebook auth provider, Apple auth provider. You know, just take a look at those two. Now we are going to create the credential equals email auth provider. And we're going to use the one with, let me just see. Oh, it's not auto-completing because we have to grab its credential with email and password. Okay, the email, in my case, I have these two published variables and just pass them along, email and a password. Okay, so now that we have the credential, we want to use the reauthenticate function on the user with this credential. So we just say user.reauthenticate with the credential. Let's just use the one with the completion. Here we have our auth credential. We're just going to pass it along, and then we get a result and an optional error. And yeah, if let error, then just print out that error. Otherwise, I don't know, just print out the result. And on the old data result, you do have the new user and whatever you'd like. Okay, and yeah, this is because we are just printing out its old data result and just passing it along as any. That's fine. Okay, so that's how we re-authenticate, and usually the framework will let you know when you do need to re-authenticate. Usually it's about sensitive data like changing password, email, and all of that stuff. Okay, so let's send a user verification, send email verification to the user. So maybe you don't want the user to be logged in with any email, just to throw away emails. You want Firebase to send a link to that email so they could verify their email. So let's create that function also. So send user email verification. There we go. And then we're just going to grab auth.current user dot send email verification. You can just go also with a completion so we can check for any errors. There we go. We might have any errors over there. I'm just going to do again. Well, let me just have this localized exception over there. So if let error, then we're just going to print it out. Otherwise, everything should have gone successfully. Okay. Now, you can also set the user's password. So function set user password. Now this will be direct. There's another way also of changing the password. We're going to talk about that next. But for now, we are going to just send the update the password basically. So auth.current user dot update. You already saw this when I typed out the previous one. So you just have update password to a string, I don't know, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then the completion, again some error. If it would occur, then just paste it, just let the user know. Now this is fine, and it will actually require reauthentication if the user hasn't been authenticated recently. But what I would recommend is just sending a reset password email. So let's create that new function also. So send reset password email. And again, that's auth send password reset with email. Let's just choose the one with the completion. Email, again, you want to grab the current user's email. For now, I'm just going to enter in this string right over here, gmail.com. Okay, and then again, if you have any errors, let the user know that something went wrong. And finally, we want to delete the user. So let's have a function of delete user. Now, this doesn't mean that it's going to delete let's say the data from the database, which we haven't covered just yet. It's going to come, but it will delete the user from Firebase authentication. So first of all, we want to grab the user. Let user equals auth.current user. And it's as simple as just calling a delete on that user. So delete, we have asynchronous functions also. Let's just go with the completion for today because it's, that's what I stick with it. And basically that's it. If there is an error, then just print it out. Otherwise, maybe just show some warning, or it depends on your logic how it's set up. Just going to automatically set the current user to nil, and therefore your application will, I don't know, maybe just go to the auth view where they can create a new user if they need to. And that's it. Those are all the commonly used operations with the user. This is not about the profile. I know it updates user profile, but this is actually about the user that Firebase authentication gives us. Now, if you want to have more like custom things for your current user, your the actual person behind this authentication, then I would suggest to create a profile in Firebase Firestore, and that is what we are going to do in the next video. Till then, go ahead and check out rebeloper.com/mentoring if you want to learn about Swift iOS and Swift UI in general. I'm here for you on a one-on-one mentoring session, and I see you in the next one.